Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of two characters from Star Wars Ahsoka, two of our villains, Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll. Baylan Skoll was very difficult to get at one point. I had to wait for a while for him to come back into stock, but finally he did, and he was mine, by golly. And Shin Hati was tough, but not as difficult as Baylan Skoll. I imagine that it has something to do with the actor's passing. The figure got very popular just based on the fact that even people who don't normally collect the figure wanted to memorialize him somehow and wanted a figure with his likeness on it. And I figure his action figure got very popular just based on the fact that people wanted something of him to say goodbye, some little piece of memorabilia that they could purchase to say this is an actor that I really liked. I don't know that's what happened for sure, but I imagine that could be at least part of it. So on the side they have the artwork, and neither one of them is the puzzle piece to the other. No matter how you switch them around, they are not contiguous pieces. Actually, oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, his pauldron comes right into Shin Hati's thing. When I put it together earlier, it seemed like the dead space here was more telling, but that kind of works out. She overlaps him a little bit down here, and then he overlaps over here with the pauldron right next to her, and that's a really nice image. And I'm sure that the actress probably got the artist to maybe give her the entire image so she could always have a picture of her standing next to him. He was beloved on the set, I understand. He was a good guy, as I understand it. Of course, the back has their bio, a little bit of their bio, and that's very cool. And of course, both of them come with that orangey lightsaber that isn't as orangey as people would like. People have done things like done Etsy things to make that an orange lightsaber, and that more orange. And so those are things that are out there. There are add-ons for these figures. Hopefully, the next iteration will have more of an orange to it, but it could be that once you fire light through it, maybe it looks more orange. Or I can hold it up to one of the lamps and look and see if I can tell. But Shin Hati looks really good in hers. Baylan has these kind of paint hits on his armor to make it look like it's shining. Of course, a kind of a pearlescent effect right on the belt buckle, which is really nice. He has this sort of paint more subtle as sort of a wash on the gauntlet and the details. Straight black skirt where Shin Hati's is two different colors, and it's just really nice. So let's say that we take these guys out of their packages and take a closer look at Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. Now that they're out of the package, let's take a closer look at Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll from Star Wars Ahsoka. First, I'm going to start with Shin Hati. The lightsabers were not orange at all. I think when the Star Wars team gets production designs, they're not always the final designs used in the show. So I gotta believe that they were red in the production design, and they didn't have time to pivot to orange. So we're getting red lightsabers on this iteration. I'm sure there'll be an archive series later, or some other series that'll help catch up people who may have missed these two figures the first time. Maybe there's an Ahsoka season 2, they'll revisit these two characters. There's already been a solicit for a Shin Hati for another figure, a different version of the figure. So it's only a matter of time before we get that really orangey lightsaber. So let me take the lightsaber out. You see the lightsaber, very cool. Standard as far as the blade. The hilt, as you can see, the hilt of the lightsaber is very cool. Has the little hook at the end here so that you can get it on her belt. That's really nice. You can see the emitter. The lightsaber looks like it's coming right out of that emitter. It's really cool. Her hair has a little bit of... It has a lot of texture. I don't know if it has a wash. It seems to be one color. But that one color really does bring out all of the detail in the hair, which is really nice. Which makes me think there's some kind of wash in there a little bit, just a little. But I can't detect any. She has a little braid. I don't know if that's kind of a Padawan braid. I don't know if they were sort of going for sort of a Sith relationship of two, and that's why you get the red lightsabers, and then they backed it off to make it more of a Jedi relationship, which means that she would be a Padawan, or they just sort of... is because it seems like they changed that too, and they made it a completely sort of new relationship between two Jedi users. She's got the gauntlets here, which blocks some of her ability to get her arms up that way, though her arms do go all the way around. Her head goes up pretty good, and goes down extremely well. She gets some side to side, which is really nice. She has butterfly joints, which helps with the articulation here. But you can see I can't get this past the gauntlet. The gauntlet floats on the... Oh, the gauntlet floats. So I can get it a little bit higher. It just won't stay there for... There it goes. That's nice. The gauntlets on the pauldrons float on top of the shoulder. I think they're attached to the chest piece on the back somewhere. Or they're attached right at the butterfly joint, maybe? I'm not sure where they're attached. It looks like it's just right inside. So I'm not sure what it's attached to. And great detail on the back. It just looks like you could get in and out of this uniform. And it looks really old-fashioned. It does look like something that would be out of a sci-fi Game of Thrones. Which is kind of a neat look. Oh, the sculpting detail is just really nice. She doesn't have bicep swivels because she swivels right at the elbow. Hinge swivel. Sorry. Wrist swivel. And wrist hinge. Waist rocker. A lot of good motion out of the waist rocker. Of course, it twists. She has splits in the skirt, so she can get her legs out pretty far, and it's ball jointed legs that are standard in Hasbro. No thigh swivel, though there is a swivel right at the knee. The knee is single jointed. I forgot, her elbows are single jointed also. Ankle hinge. And ankle rocker. And that is the dangerous Shin Hati. Now for the even deadlier, I imagine, because he's the master in this scenario, Baylan Skoll. First, let's start with the lightsaber. Has a little bend in it. I'm not sure if that's intentional. But this lightsaber is a good bit longer than Shin Hati's lightsaber. Shin Hati's lightsaber measures 4 inches long. Baylan Skoll's is 5 inches long. I know that doesn't seem like a big difference, but 1/12 means that every inch is 1 foot. It's 12 inches. 12 inches times 6 is 72. They imagine the average person is 6 feet tall. So that's what 1/12 scale is based on, which means that for every inch, it's an extra foot long of lightsaber, of tallness, of whatever else. So for example, Shin Hati is 6 inches tall, so they imagine she is 6 feet tall. Baylan is about 6¼ So he's about a ½ foot taller than she is, about 6'6". I don't know if he was that in real life. Seems like he was taller, but his lightsaber is very cool. It has the hook also on the end there, so you can hook it on his belt. You take the emitter off and hook it on the belt. I should have said that with Shin Hati as well. But that's really nice detail on his lightsaber. What a nice color gradients. This is a really good job on the lightsaber. Like I said when he was in the package, I do like the little hit of blue on here that makes it kind of look shiny or worn. He has it continues through the armor here. A little bit of bluish. I use a blue light for the background, so it could be that the blue light is sort of canceling that out a little bit. But there's little bluish hits. And of course, just like on Shin, something on the back that makes it look like he could actually get into that armor. Like it's actually placed on him. Is a really nice. And of course, the overlapping armor makes it seem like something that he absolutely would have worn on Game of Thrones. And it's really nice to see that in the Star Wars universe come to life. If for any other reason, it's nice to have different uniforms and different takes on things. His face is amazing. It's not as angular. I think his face was tougher in real life. But he's got the gray hair, the graying hair, I should say. It's not completely gray yet, but the white beard, which is what we all get when we get older. Even if our hair doesn't go white, our beard goes white for some reason. He's got the gauntlets or the pauldrons just like Shin Hati's that slide right out of the way. He does not have... Yeah, he does. Oh my gosh. There's a butterfly joint in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's sort of hidden on the inside. It's definitely there. You can see it sticking out here. That's a little bit better of a view of it. But he's got butterfly joints. So you got really good wingspan. He has double elbows, a little trouble flexing them. He's got the gauntlet on his arm. He has an elbow swivel, wrist swivel, wrist hinge. Head looks up really nicely. Head looks down really well. Very good side to side. A waist rocker with a twist. He does the splits thanks to his whatever the thing is getting out of the way. Ball jointed legs. No thigh cut. But I'm guessing that his knees have swivels. Foot hinge. And ankle rocker. And of course there is the hook for the lightsaber. And it's on the other side for Shin Hati. On Shin Hati, it's here below the belt a little bit. With this zoomed in on the lightsaber, that shine looks like the inner blade, which would have been cooler in orange. But I'm sure we'll get that in the next iteration. Until then, you can get a secondhand orange blade from one of the great folks who do that kind of thing. That aftermarket. Upscaling of your figure. When you pay $20 for a figure and then somebody comes out with $30 of an upgrade and you go, oh my god, that would make the figure so much better. And then by the time you're done, you've got a $50 figure, but that figure's like a Mofex figure now. That figure's like a Figuarts figure. Now that figure is just so tricked out and has so much cool stuff going on that you don't even notice. You're like, this is awesome! Why didn't this stuff automatically come with it to begin with? So, I wish you luck on your hunt for these two. I haven't seen them in quite a while, and it's taken me forever to open them. But again, Shin Hati coming out with a new figure pretty soon. I don't know if it was already up for pre-order. I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was a Comic-Con pre-order. And Baylan Skoll, no doubt, will have another figure somewhere down the road. He's a beloved actor. He's a beloved part of the Star Wars family, and there's no reason they wouldn't put out another figure of this. Maybe somehow improve it. I don't see how they could. Well, the orange blade would be great, but other than that, I don't know how they could improve it. So go out and get them if you still can. So until next time, enjoy your toys.